this "don't be evil" thing is mocked quite often by people. Now Google's a very big company. When the "don't be evil" slogan came up, it was during a meeting, I think in 2003, if I recall right, and people were trying to say, well, what are Google's values? And one of the engineers who was invited to this meeting said, we could just sum it all up by just saying, don't be evil. And the human relations person who was running that meeting said, it's not sort of negative, I don't know about that. But another person, engineer in the meeting, it's always the engineers who are pushing this stuff, started writing on whiteboards all around Google. And Google's full of whiteboards because people can have an idea at any second and want to write it down. And so he wrote, and he has a very distinctive script, don't be evil, don't be evil, don't be evil. And it caught on. And it became a very useful thing, people tell me, for when Google would think of, what should we do this, should we do that? Someone said, well, wouldn't that be evil? And some people think evil means don't be like Microsoft. But a lot of people just felt it sort of is a binary thing that you could just feel in your gut, like that definition of obscenity. It's evil, it's not evil. Let's not do it if it feels evil there. And you would think now that things are so much more complex with Google, and a lot of what seemed black and white in the early days now becomes a little fuzzier. Google's involved in very big issues. They're trying, every time they buy a big company, questions come up. They bought recently a travel company with a lot of data that's used by some of Google's competitors. Bing uses as a back end some of this travel information. And people wondered, what isn't that a little evil that Google would have the information that its competitor needs? And for Google, they felt, no, we know we're not going to do anything bad, so it's okay to do it. And to a lot of people, that isn't a very good explanation there, and things get fuzzier. But Google still feels that that's a useful metric, so to speak, of what's good and what's evil, even though its communications people rue the day that don't be evil came up, because people always use it as a bludgeon. Everything Google does, people say, well, what happened to don't be evil?